Go.
Good afternoon. My name is Karl Weaver. I work for Simulity Labs. We're here at the 2017 CES Show in Shanghai, Pudong, Shanghai, China, for the CES Show. The show is basically the largest consumer electronics show for China, inside China, for 2017. And really, really interesting place. So welcome to visit this exhibition. It's an exhibition plus a conference together. Here we are at Shanghai, Pudong. Thank you. Hi, we're here at the Huawei smartwatch again. This is called the Huawei 2 smartwatch. It's a fantastic smartwatch. This Huawei smartwatch will allow me to do mobile payment and also supports the Alipay and the WeChat Pay and the Huawei Pay mobile wallets. It also supports the Shenzhen subway transit ticketing. This is very, very cool. So actually in China, you can support the Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, and Guangzhou subway transit ticketing with the Huawei smartwatch 2. You simply take the watch and go to the turnstile at the point of sale, at the turnstile on the subway, just touch because it uses NFC technology. This is a very cool watch because it has NFC technology, it has Bluetooth, it has GPS, it has Wi-Fi, and it also has an embedded or a removable SIM card. In the local Chinese version of this Huawei 2 smartwatch, it has a removable SIM card. A 4G SIM card can be inserted. But the models that are sold internationally have an embedded SIM, the so-called eUICC or the eSIM. So Huawei has watches that can be sold internationally with the embedded SIM and domestically with the removable SIM. This is a fantastic watch. We're seeing it here at the CES show here in Shanghai this week, and it's a fantastic product. I recommend people to look at this watch and consider buying it. Thank you.
Oh, no, we're going to turn to Karl. Karl.
女士们、先生们，各位中国朋友，欢迎参加今天下午的演讲。今天下午的演讲呢是关于传带智能手表的演讲。传带智能手表跟地铁致付。Good afternoon. My name is Karl Weaver. I work for Simulity Labs. We're an embedded SIM operating system vendor, and my job is to promote eSIM, embedded SIM to the world, mostly to Asia, but to all the manufacturers in the Far East. Smartwatches are low-hanging fruit because they're the first thing that we see in the world with an embedded SIM. But the embedded SIM provides the opportunity for the smartwatch to be a mobile payment or a wearable mobile payment device. And I'm actually wearing a Huawei Smartwatch 2. This is the Huawei Smartwatch 2, just launched in China. This watch is so cool because you can add the subway transit payment for Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, and Guangzhou. Why is that important? That's important because you need to have something that won't fall or drop or be broken, and something that's always convenient. You can just touch the point of sale terminal in the subway to do payments, or with Starbucks in China to do payments. It supports near-field communications, and it's very, very cool. Wearables in China and wearables around the world will provide the capability for 4G connectivity, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, NFC, because payment is a very important lifestyle application that we will all use. So payment is critical for these smartwatches. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm promoting the technology to the OEMs and ODMs in China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Korea, Japan, all of Asia. Did I forget anything?
On your slides, but that's okay. That's okay, you can go through that.
So basically, the strategy for wearables isn't just a smartwatch. It's wristbands, and it's also NFC-enabled rings. This is actually a wearable strategy we believe the transit system needs to adopt better outside of China. In China, they're cutting edge. They're leading the world with this technology. It comes with an eSIM or an ESC, NFC contactless front end, and also an eSIM plugin, especially from NXP. That's mostly for wearables. smart wearables are integrating all kinds of technology. We provide the eSIM, just very quickly. An eSIM is basically reprogrammable. And the eSIM's key issue about the eSIM is the eSIM can go into any one of these 5 different form factors currently present that we see in hardware inside China. Very quickly, we provide a platform. The platform is called Remote SIM Provisioning, along with the embedded SIM. This technology will launch around the world very, very soon. The 3 operators of China are now supporting remote SIM provisioning from the GSMA, along with the embedded SIM. You saw the wearables there. It has 3 different types of markets right now. One is for M2M, which is machines, connected cars. The second one is the consumer electronic devices, tablets, smartphones, smartwatches. And actually, believe it or not, the Fruit Sound Company actually has this technology now, and we probably didn't even realize it. The iPad Pro has an embedded SIM, as well as the capability for an Apple SIM that you can insert. Very quickly, one more slide. Oh, that's it.
There you go. So I'm going to show, while Karl is mentioning this, I'm going to just switch to the camera for a minute. He talked about embedded SIMs. This is from Visa. It's a ring, and it's a payment system. Visa gave it to me preloaded to test, so I can't refill it yet. But in order to build this ring, they had to do a printed circuit that was flexible and a battery that was circular, and it's a titanium ring. If I go into Starbucks and I want a cup of coffee and I buy my coffee, I bump the cash register like that and I pay. And people love it. And soon they'll be on the market and be able to be replenished. So think wearables, not just in watches, but in all sorts of things.
And actually, this is on the market and you can buy it now.
I couldn't even buy a cup of coffee this morning, it was so complicated, but okay.
So that's then a big advantage over the smartwatches, you don't have to charge it every day. And also all our straps are interchangeable, so we bring fashionable straps in every season that you can keep the same case, but you can swap the straps around as new colours and come into the season.
Ultimately, biometrics and human body, the technology to use the human body to generate power for to charge a battery is right down the pipeline very soon. And also, the best chip for these wearables on the smartphones, smartwatch side is Qualcomm has a wearable 2100 chip, and they give you more power savings in that chip, and the chip is going to continue to get better. I think it's really cool that so many companies, even in China, are working on this same problem, how to solve this pain point. And it's just an evolutionary process. They will get this problem solved, but we're part of the experiment. We buy these things.
Yes, we are. We are. We keep the economy healthy by buying all the experiments. There actually is the Matrix Power Watch is powered by Body Kinetics, and it's on the market now, or maybe as a Kickstarter. Body heat. Oh, body heat, even better, right? So yeah, you're seeing amazing things, and I want. Do we have other questions? Go ahead.
Hi, everybody.
There is a mic, but
there is. That's okay. Small room. Great panel. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much. What would be a tipping point that would scale wearables to a point that makes it profitable?
Well, I think it's. I've been in the payment world for a long time, promoting near-field communications, and when you look at that, NFC is a great technology that is not being fully utilized in China because of barcode. Okay, I'm not going to say anything positive, negative about that. But the fact is all the subway systems use NFC for the transit cards, and that's not translated into the watch. It's a lifestyle application to use this NFC technology on all kinds of devices. Think about a car using a watch to open it up. Think about NFC being used for so many other applications that it's not being used for now. But the reason is actually Technology will only be adopted if it solves a lifestyle use case reason. That's it. And payment, we need payment, but nobody wants to carry a wallet. Nobody wants to lose the wallet. Nobody wants the wallet stolen. And even in China and all around the world, people steal phones, even as you're talking on it. It's tough to steal this from your wrist. Really tough.
So clearly we have one NFC payment evangelist on the panel, and I think it is a life, I think it could be one of those life-saving tipping points. Anybody else want to?
Affordability, man. I think when the first computers started coming out, they weren't cheap, right?
Not necessarily affordability, scalability.
Scalability, okay. Same, I think things just need to become easier to chew. In a really easy way to put it. Things just need to become simpler. Right now, there's too many what ifs, there's too many complications, and we are spending a lot of time solving problems rather than evolving with it, right?
But think about also, besides the garment itself, we talked about this earlier, so if you go most anywhere in China, you can find a knockoff of Enemix watches.
Yeah.
With smart technology, it's very easy to put a chip in anything, to track it from the day it came from the factory, to who made it, to where it is on the boat, to where it's being delivered. So I think in addition to wearable technology, you're going to see smart garment technology that stays with you through the entire process. And finally, when it gets into the consumer's hand, maybe that same QR code or RFID code says, oh, that dress would look great with those blue shoes. Here's 20% off, go buy them. And that's, I think, what will happen to change things so that technology really becomes so embedded into our garments. So you're not reading that little label saying, should I clean this or should I iron this? It actually, you have tags that are smart about telling you where in the life cycle of your garment it is. And it's a big concept. There's actually a hat, a French Rochambeau, that has Facebook, it has a tag in it, so wherever you travel all over the world, your hat tells Facebook where you are.
Excellent.
And it ensures the product's authentic as well, because you can check whether that's a real authentic Armani watch or garment that you just purchased, where currently, in China we have major issues with that.
Yeah, and in manufacturing, I know some of the smart tags are looking at child labor and who actually made this garment. So I think that's one tipping point, is the whole garment supply chain.
And I mean, the marketing is big, right? It's like, you can have the greatest product in the world, but if you don't know how to sell it, if you don't know who you're selling it to, it's not gonna go like that. And I think that's one of the things that Apple got right away is when the first iPhone came out, they knew how to sell it. They made it cool.
Well, yeah, we call it aspirational, and partly that will also be technology driven. So for example, augmented, if you walk around the show floor and you watch the augmented technologies, I actually scanned an app, I was showing that scanned my body as an avatar, and now I can try on clothes that just fit my body and fit my personality, and soon I get, the more I share with them, the more information I get back about what might look good on me. We have Stitch Fix, which actually learns through AI about, you get 5 items a month to try on, and based on what you tell them you like, then you get better items the next month. And it's services like that are using technology to also help personalize.
There's a concept that came out of southern China, which is really important for the development of all this technology, and it's called Shanzhai. And it's actually, you Chinese people, you know what I'm talking about. This Shanzhai is a spirit as well as a manufacturing process. This Shanzhai spirit allows people to take risks to create products that perhaps people in the West normally would not develop, but the Chinese are risk takers. They will take the risks because the manufacturing environment is here. So we have to think that this is a very mature, innovative ecosystem for Chinese people to say, why can't I want Bluetooth, NFC, and 4G. I want that on my jacket. I'll just turn one on and off when I need. People in the West might think that's kind of bizarre, perhaps. I don't think the Chinese do, because this whole concept, the Shanghai spirit. If you're Chinese, you get it. You know what I'm talking about. People in the West need to understand. This is why China has innovated from copy to innovation over the past 10 years. I've tracked it, I follow it. It is the Shanghai spirit. People in the West would think it's ridiculous to have a cell phone that acts as a shaver. But they made these in China, and it's incorporating technologies like that's why I think this panel is in China. We're focused on things in China. I thought I would just mention.
Yeah. And then, another tipping point is just functionality. In our fashion show, we have a motorcycle jacket that acts as an airbag. It just, on impact, it just blows up.
Not a parachute, but an airbag.
An airbag. Yeah, it's not a parachute. I think I have that one also. But it's it's your lifesaver. So I think it's a really broad category. And there are so many ways this conversation can go, but we have time for one or two more questions. One in the back.
I have a sustainability question. Fashion is fleeting. A lot of garments get thrown out very quickly after a year or two. Are you worried that you're going to be producing a lot of natural fashion?
Well,
Oh, I like that question.
Yeah.
Sustainability it's important to me. One of the reasons why I like what we do with Make Fashion is because we're going towards the couture side. I personally try to steer away from anything that is mass marketed fashion now, because that's a big concern of mine. I think there's also a big maker movement right now, and there is a big handcraft movement. There is a lot of people just doing things back at home and selling them, and I think the consumer is actually liking that. If you look at the generation that's coming behind millennials, they don't care about product. They don't care about shiny things. They care about experiences. They care about meaning. And I think that's also what's gonna take the fashion industry and making it more sustainable, is because the consumer itself is asking for more sustainable, right? Like, people care. Like you said, people care where the label comes from now. And I think that's also I think more of like, is it gonna turn into a fashion fleeting thing, is I think we have a responsibility to not let it turn that way.
and I would add that there are also, it's an opportunity for new technologies. I know I live in New York, and we have a big computer recycling, they'll pull out the zinc, and they'll pull out the magnesium, they'll pull out everything and recycle those parts. There are new materials being made out of biomaterial that are good for the environment, and there are recycled, what did I see, sugar. I mean, I've seen some really weird new biomaterials that, and I think it's just the beginning of what we're going